Okay, so City, you were asking the question about the video link. And just to recap, so because I don't know where Michelle, the group chat abuse. um, yeah, true. So just to recap, if you have a video that you are linking to on the front page of your website, that shouldn't be a very long video. It's just promoting your product. But if you're vlogging, if it's content rich, you can make it as long or as short as you want it to be. I mean, obviously, if you're in a training video, you know, people hold attention a lot shorter. So I wouldn't be going overboard and putting a 2-hour video on or an hour video on. But for me to read through this whole blog and actually vlog it and talk about the 5 steps and things like that will probably take me about 10-15 minutes. So use that as a bit of a gauge. But it's fine. You know, you can actually have longer videos. There is no right and wrong with it. It's how long. Everything that you do in on your website and in online is about measurement. So you really have to measure. If people are going to the video and you can see that they are cutting off after a minute, it means that something in the intro wasn't appealing, or you didn't do something that grabbed their attention. If they're still on after 5 or 10 minutes, hey, you know what, you've got good content, you're doing okay. So it's just practice. Like, you just have to practice and, you know, see what happens. All right, let's go back to sharing screens. And I'm back here. So I'm back in this side over here. And sorry, guys, I didn't do any work while I was away. And I will fix this blog up, so I won't bore you with putting too much in here. One of the things that you do want to do, though, is you do want to have a good photo in your blog. So you can put a photo into your blog. Let me just move all you guys over here. Just publish this quickly so you can see what it looks like for now.
Juanita, is there like a, say for example, for a 1,000-word blog, so many images per words, like 3 or 4 images to break it up, all that text, or not?
Definitely. I would definitely put a few more images in. Like this particular blog, I'd have a few more images in than what I would normally have. So I'd say to you, for every, there's no hard and fast rule, but I'd say to you, for every 400 to 500 words, have an image. So if you're doing about a 1,200 blog, be about three images that you'd be putting in. And I do have the images ready here, so we can pop the images in. Get them. So I do pop mine in over here. And go into, sorry guys, I'm uploading files. Is this helping you at all? I mean, I know some of you already know how to use your backend and you do your things. I chose this image to start off with at the top. Make sure that the image does grab people. Make sure that you're using an image that is something that people can relate to. And I kind of, like for images, I almost, like you'll see the way that I did the whole thing now with the how to write a blog, when I did the whole image for the Facebook page. I actually took that image. So I had a piece of paper, I wrote how to write a blog on it, I put my phone there, I put a pen there, and this one over here. And I took a crumpled piece of paper, my phone with my photo, and I took a photo of it. And I've had a lot of people coming back and going, wow, that was a really cool image that you used there. It was just me writing on paper with a blog. So definitely use it. Okay, I'm going to insert this into the post. And of course, make sure that your image is the right size and that it's centered and you know, everything that you need to. So I'm starting the image over here. Now, this image is actually in the post, but I can set a featured image. So I can set the image from the side here and put it in as a featured image over there. and have the image come up. If you do set a featured image, you can definitely put keywords with that image at the bottom, because that helps that image get found as well. Now, you do know with Pinterest and things like that, people can pick up images off your website. The nice thing, though, is if you're setting everything on your website, the link carries over automatically to other social media channels like Pinterest. So your website link for this would carry straight over. Okay. Let me get my other image over here. Is your diary, and I can put another image in over here. And let's pop an image in. Oopsie, add media. Upload, select. And I've got that one over there. Now that there is simply a screenshot that I took of my actual diary for tomorrow. And I can pop it in the post. Let's see how it looks. Oops, let's go down a little bit. So it's over there. Now, just a little bit of, so can you see that image is pretty big? You know, for the post and things like that. I mean, I can take it to the side and have the writing on the side as well. It's not bad size for you actually having a look to see the image, but it might not be the greatest image to put in here. So I might go back and change this image. But let's just have a look and see what it looks like. And apologies because I haven't done all the headings. It's really just giving you some pointers on how you actually do your blog and how to write it and everything else. So I'm going to go in here and view the post. And that's what it's looking like at the moment. So if you were looking at this, you'd probably be going, I don't like to read this kind of thing on the side. This should actually be a featured image, and take it out of the actual blog itself, put it in as a featured image, and then have everything coming up. Now, these things here I can bold. So don't forget, even if you're doing H1, H2 tags, you should still be bolding anything that you need to bold, because depending on how your website has been set up, it may not bold everything that you need it to. That is set up by your web developer, and you just need to let them know how you want these things to stand out. Okay, are there any questions so far? Now, there was one thing that I did want to show you, and no questions? Whoops, I'm going to show you that soon. So you see down here, I've got this little script going. This is an actual, and I do want to show you this. This is an actual opt-in form that I've created. And we do create these opt-in forms for people. So I'm going to go back to my blog here, and I'm going to edit the post. And I'm going to go right down to the bottom. So remember I said put a call to action in your website. Right here at the bottom, I'm actually going to add, I'll just change this to text so you can see what the text looks like. And I am going to, this here, but I'll do this again. Control-V, add that in. Let's have a look at the visual of it. See if it's taking. And it's going to have a look. So let's update this post. Sorry guys, let me just move you again. Update and go view the post. And there it is. So you see now what I've done here is I've also put a little, besides my call to action of saying, you know, come in and share and tell us what you like, I've put a little template in there to say if you need ideas for a blog, then you can put your name in and you can get your copy now. How awesome is that? You can also put these things on the side of your blog and have them there permanently, but you can put them into your blog as well. And it may not necessarily be at the end. You might just sneak it in somewhere else. So here's a few things that people don't do on their blog that they should be doing. You'll hear in online marketing that the money is in the lists. The more email addresses you have, the more that you can market to people. And I know from an email perspective, people don't want to have hundreds of emails coming at them. So be vigilant, but be careful when you are doing email marketing. Now, email marketing, as much as people complain, people will still open emails and they will still buy from emails. And email marketing is still one of the biggest money generators in online marketing. So people might say, I hate emails and things like that, but if you've got a really good headline and you're opening up and you're friendly and people get to know you that way, you start generating your fan base. You start generating people that want to hear from you because they know that you've got something of value to share with them. And that's the thing. I mean, if you're just bombarding people and spamming them all the time and, telling them, this is your product, this is your product, this is your product all the time, people will eventually get sick of it. But if you're giving things for free and you're telling people that they can get stuff, people will stay with you. They'll tend to stay and they want to know. So this is the way that you build the audience that you want. That's the most important thing for your blog. It's no good having a blog, say, for example, I'm not sure what all of you do, so please, apologies. I know Julie is an accountant, right? So it's no good for Julie having a blog where she's going on and she's blogging about social media marketing, for example, unless it's from an accounting point of view. So she might go, it's really great to have Xero because it links to your social media marketing, and she might write a blog about that. But she can't do that all the time because people are going to get confused about what she does. So she needs to blog about the things that she is, that she does as a primary. But occasionally she can blog about something that is not a primary, as long as it kind of still filters back to business and back to, in some way, what she does. Okay, but so that's not your strategy all the time. So 90% of your blog should be about what you do as a business. That's the first thing. The second thing that I can tell you, and where people go wrong, is that they don't blog consistently. So when you're blogging, you need to go on and blog consistently. So find a day that you blog and blog. If anybody wants to ask questions about this, please go for it. But the questions that I get asked the most are, how often do I blog? Do I blog once a week, once a month, whatever? It doesn't matter. Find what works for you and do it consistently. Bloggers that make a lot of money from blogging will blog every day or 3 times a week is generally what they blog at. Once a week is pretty good. If you can blog once a week, it's good. It gets you into a bit of the practice and it gets people to know you. And if you're giving some good information, people start coming back to your blog and they'll start, interacting with you. I'd love you to come to these blogs and interact with them as well. That'd be really cool. Now, are you happy with this, or do you want me to, is there anything else that you want to ask from here? Because I want to take you to another little step to help you out. Any questions?
All good.
Excellent. Okay. Right. So tell me if you can see my screen if I go here. You can see it? Okay. Right. This is
Juanita, just one question from Samantha.
Yes.
She said that she offers a range of services to different audiences, and does she need to target one customer base with her blogs?
So Samantha, can you go on and just tell me a little bit about what you offer and what your audiences are and how you do this? Samantha, you can unmute yourself and then...
Oh, she's typed in, she does makeup for adults and face painting for children, and then special effects makeup.
Okay. So what I would do if I were you is I'd actually have 3 different blogs. I'd have 3 different places because you're selling 3 different things. Even though you're doing makeup, You're doing them for different audiences. Now, you could possibly get away with, because it's still makeup, you could possibly get away with and then just do a blog for kiddies, a blog for, but in my experience, you build an audience around your blog. So me personally, I would have 3 different blogs and I kind of blog that way. I'd probably go for the makeup for adults as my primary blog, because that is a huge money maker and you can do a lot of sales on that kind of a thing. So you do a vlog video, you're showing, the makeup, and I'm sure you actually do this. So you're showing the makeup, but then you can also sell that makeup or sell the brushes and everything else on your actual blog. It's got very dark.
Yeah, she said, okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Cool. All right. So this document that I've got sitting over here, and this is the one that I've put in there for the download. So you can get this document if you go in and you download it. This here just gives you a lovely way of putting together blog ideas. So many people that I come across say to me, I just don't know what to blog about. Like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to blog about. This is just a lovely template and it will show you how to blog. So I'll take you to the actual template. This is just the instructions for you. Come on. Take you to the template. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to do is choose your topics. So write down what the topics are that you blog about. So you can put face painting for children, face painting for adults, so makeup for adults, for the accounting. So Julie, for you can put Xero, you can put tax returns, you can put GST returns. So those are the kind of things that you would put up here in the topic, just over here, right? And then all that I've done on the side here is I've just given you a heap of things that you could write a blog about. So you can write a blog about a customer question. So you're answering a customer question. You can write a blog about a how-to. You can write a blog about something versus something else. So this versus that. You can write a blog about your predictions. You can write a blog about what's new. You can do a blog about a case study that you've done and how it worked out. You can do a blog about how not to. And all of this can have humor in it, right? You can do a blog about your biggest mistakes or about a lesson that you learned, or a blog about becoming something. So how to become fit, how to become, strong, fit, and expert in, etc. Then all you need to do on this little thing over here. So let's say my topic, and I'm going to go mine. So my topic is LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, blogging. Okay. I'm going to go through each of these and I'm going to go, can I write a blog about a customer question that's being answered on Facebook? Yes, I can. So I'll tick that. Can I do the same for LinkedIn? Yes, I can. Can I do the same for Twitter? Yes, I can. And so I'll just go through and tick all of these because that's going to show me where I can actually write blogs. So I might not be able to write a blog about everything on every topic. It simply just maps out for me what I can write about for each topic. So going back to you guys, let's say I said here it's tax returns, and I said here because accounting is one of the hardest to write blogs for, so I'm actually going to use that because if you can do that, you can do it for anything. So let's say I put tax returns over here, year-end tax returns. Can I write a blog about a customer question that's been asked? Yes, I can. So lots of questions get asked about tax returns. I can go into a Facebook group, say to people, what's your biggest question that you have about tax returns? People ask, I choose one of those questions, I go back and go, right, this is a question that's getting asked consistently and this is what I'm covering in my blog. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys getting there? So what ends up happening with this little template over here, you can end up having anything from 10 to 100 blog ideas that you could actually write about. Isn't that awesome? And then all you do is take those over there and you now write your headings. So if I had to use that one for Julie and say, customer question answered, I've now found the question. So the question is, will I be penalized if my tax return is late? Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and in this little template, I'm going to write that out. Will I be penalized if my tax return is late? Don't worry too much about the title at this stage. You can change that title as you go along. Now, the lovely thing is once you've got this going, because this is your planning, right, for blogging, once you've got this going, you can simply work out how often you want to blog. So you can go down and go, if I blog once a week, these are the dates that this needs to be done. And you can literally regurgitate this template all the time. So there you go. Isn't that awesome? Like, I think it is.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Where do we find that document to download it?
So that document on that blog that I've just put up on my blogs, it's there. So what I'll do is I'll copy the link. I'll copy the link for that blog through to you in the conversation, and you can go to the blog. I'd love to have feedback on that blog, by the way, and I'd love to have some comments and things like that, because as I said, that is a fairly new website. So if we can get some interaction on it now, it would be awesome for me. So you can help me out. How's that?
Great.
And
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you then go to the bottom and you put your name and details in, you'll get this template. And you're very welcome. Use it. Like it's one of the most amazing little templates for you to plan out your blogs and to know what you're blogging about. Because, as I said, most people struggle with what I actually need to write about. Not so much the writing. Once you know, you can go find information all over the web. Google's wonderful. Just a few things. If you are going to quote anybody in a blog, so if you do pick up something in another blog and you want to quote it, always make sure you backlink to that blog, and always make sure you put whatever you're quoting in inverted commas. If you take the words off another blog verbatim, word for word, without the inverted commas, you'll get penalized by Google. So Google picks up very quickly if things have been copied, and it will penalize your blogs. And then it downranks your website. So always make sure it's in inverted commas. Are there any questions? I think that's about it. I mean, there's so much that I can cover. I can cover the whole search engine optimization of the blogs and things like that. The main thing for you to really think about is your keywords that you're using. Make sure that your headings are really stand out, that people want to actually read them. Make sure that you are blogging consistently. Make sure that you're collecting information from your blog. So definitely have an opt-in form somewhere on your blog. Make sure that you've got a template. So you've got a specific way of writing. As I said, I start with a story, then I go into bullet pointing. I add my photos in, so I make sure that the photos are all absolutely matching to what I'm writing about. And write simply, like don't write highfalutin. I mean, I've come across lawyers and doctors and things like that write, and it's great for, I mean, if their audience is lawyers and doctors and things like that, it's great if they write at that level. But if their audience is just you and I, and the average Joe on the street, they need to write at our level. They need to make things simple, not overcomplicated. So don't use jargon, or if you use jargon, make sure that you explain the jargon. And if there's any advice other than that I can give you, is just be intentional, like network. Some of the things that we should be doing is seeing who in our networking group does kind of the same thing, so that we can do some backlinks and things like that. Look, and I know this is really weird, and people do find me weird sometimes, but I'm a fan of, I don't see competitors. So I will go to somebody that writes a really great blog that's in the same field as me, that is perceived as my competitor, and I will backlink to their things, because you know what, we're there helping each other out. There's enough to go around for everyone. And I'd say book time to blog. So make sure that you book time to blog. The other thing is just focus on, so get really good at your analytics. Get really good at focusing on the numbers. Get really good at knowing what kind of people are coming to your blog, who's coming to your blog, how the blog is actually working for you, and record your statistics. So make sure that you're recording what's happening, what's not happening, and find successful people in your field. Ask them if you can, have them on, do some interviews with them, put that on as a vlog, write a blog about it. There's so much that you can do. I always say if you've got the intention to do it, you'll find the time.
There was a question from Heather on the chat saying, is once a month too little?
You could, Heather, start with once a month if that's going to help you. The more you blog, the better for your website, the more you're going to get found in searches. It keeps your website alive. Literally, if you want to do, your people can do heaps of stuff with search engine optimization. The more active your website is, the better your website for search engine optimization. So if you can blog once a week, great. If you can only blog once a month, that's fine too. Whatever works for you. I'd say the more, the better. Definitely don't do it once every 3 months or 4 months or whatever it is. Once a month at the minimum. And again, it also depends on why you're blogging. So, if you're just blogging mainly to keep your website alive and have information if people hit your website, that's like I don't know if this is a terrible word to use, but that's like the lowest form of blogging. You're just blogging to kind of do that. If you're blogging and you want to generate some income off your websites, or you want to generate leads off your websites, you definitely need to be blogging a little bit more than that. So makeup, I'd be blogging at least once a week. Definitely at a minimum. You could do that 3 times a week. That could be your income coming in. Just put up those little, I know it's time consuming. It depends on how much time you want to put into it, but you could make quite a bit of money out of it, especially on YouTube. If you get a lot of followers. And how do you get the followers? They can come from your blog as well.
Heather's asking, if you did it 3 times a week, would it have to be the short blogs as opposed to the 1,000-word ones?
You could mix it up. So you can do some short ones and some long ones. Again, whatever you do, if you're going to do a short blog, make sure that it's still content rich. So I've picked up people, and I want to tear my hair out when I see what they do. They write these literally half-page blogs of nonsense just because they need to write a blog. But don't even bother then. Seriously, don't do it. So if you're going to write a blog, have an intention with it, and that's why I've given you this template. So you can go and have intention with your blog. Don't write something just for the sake of writing something. If you don't know what to write, rather leave it for a week or leave it for a few days and come back to it. We all have writer's block, and it is.
Okay, this free meeting's going to end in 10 minutes. One of the other questions on the chat was from Jackie saying, do you let people link to their websites when they're commenting?
In other words, if they actually comment in the comment box and say, go back and link to my website over here?
Presumably.
Okay.
There are some blogs that just let you type in your website.
Yeah. So I would just say monitor it very carefully. If the website that's been put in is something that you don't want to have people linking back to, then you can kind of, delete the comment if you want to. Generally, there are times that you don't want that to happen, but generally, if it's linking back to things that are going to help people, I don't mind. So if somebody went on this blog and said, you know what, actually I do work on mindfulness, and I do work on how to stay focused. That's what I do. As long as you're not doing it as a sales pitch, and that's the big thing. If I find sales pitchy things going on in the comments, I will delete them straight away. I want people to share. So I want somebody to say, you know, I work with mindfulness, and what I found was this and this and this, and my tip for staying focused and avoiding procrastination is this. And if you want to find more, you can go to my website over here. Now, what could happen is I might link with that person and go, hey, you know what? You've got a really great website. You've got a really great blogs there. How about you and I do some backlinking from our websites? How about we share blogs on it, you know, links back to each other's blogs on our blogs? Great way of doing it. So does that answer your question?
Totally random, but if you're commenting on somebody's blog,
yes,
and it's not related to your own website, do you fill in the website tab thing to get the link back to your website, or should you only comment and leave your website thing when it's related to your website?
Only when it's related. So as an etiquette, I would only put it in there if it's relating back. If it's not, and you're just a commenter on the blog and you want to give your tips and things like that, just put your tips in there. Don't put your website on every single blog. People will start getting...
I don't mean like I make a comment and I say, come to my blog. When you fill in your details, it asks for your name, your email address, and a website. Should I just leave the website blank if it's not related to?
Oh, you can fill in your website if the actual if the plugin that the website is using is asking you to do that. You can fill it in. So that depends on which plugin the website actually uses. So yeah, fill it in. It's fine. But if you're actually making a comment and then deliberately putting your website in there, I wouldn't do that. Any other questions? We've got like 5 minutes left. Anything else? Okay, so last 5 minutes, I'm just going to sum up for you quickly. There is no right or wrong in blogging. Just do what makes you feel comfortable. Throw everything out the window that you've learned about paragraph sizes and things in English. Paragraphs need to be shorter. Make sure that you're putting bullet points in. Make sure that you are putting numbers in. Make sure that you're highlighting bolding your headings. In search engine optimization, definitely put your heading 1s and heading 2s in and heading 3s. Bold, put backlinks into your website. So this is actually about developing the website. When you're writing, make sure that you write for your different kinds of audiences. So your visuals, kinesthetics, auditories. Find good photos that really relate to your website or to the blog that you're actually writing. As a rule, kind of think about every 400 words you'd have a photo. So if you're doing 700, one is enough. But if you're going to 800, then have two kind of photos on the website. 400 to 500 words. Make sure that you are blogging consistently. Build it to your audience, a blog in accordance with the audience that you want to attract. Blog about what you do. So you want to build yourself as an authority in your field. And don't be scared to sell on your blog. Definitely have opt-ins. End of your blog with a call to action. Definitely have the opt-ins, and definitely have places where you can link back to either other websites or you can sell things. So there it is. Ta-da! How to blog.
That's awesome. Just a question, you know how in the last kind of couple of minutes you've just rounded up everything that you've mentioned.
Yes.
Will you have a list of that on the Facebook page as well that we can have a look at or copy it so that we can make sure that we've all got those last little bullet point gems that you've just given us?
Do you know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be writing a blog tomorrow about it.
Awesome.
That's great. Thank you, Anita.
How about I write the blog and then I'll put the blog up and you can come and have a look at the blog and everything will be there.
Brilliant.
Do you see how you can take information and use it and blog? It's not hard.
Yeah.
So this has been recorded, right? And I will send you the recordings. So you'll definitely get the recordings. But from these recordings, I'm not going to necessarily put the recording on the blog. But what I will do, I mean, I can take pieces of the recording and cut it up. What I will do, though, is listen back to this recording and I can write a whole blog on it.
That would be awesome.
Put it up.
Mm.
Great. Michelle, thank you so much for having me on for the NZ
Thank
Network.
you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much for your time. And thanks everybody for attending, and sorry about the little snafu in the middle. We'll have to sort that out for the next one.
Yeah. I look, sometimes technology you just can't control. It happens, it happens.
Yeah,
So
we made it.
I'll piece these two together and send you one long video.
Thanks so much, Juanita.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. And I look forward to interacting with all of you. Please don't hesitate to PM me and ask any questions, or, link up with me on Facebook. I'm very open. I'm happy to have you on my Facebook.
Brilliant.
Great. Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye.